What is up? It's Fred from the Red Chair Reviews. It's time for the new vinyl releases for Friday, February 27th, 2026. I got my hoodie, I got my list, I got my Snuffleupagus hat from Overlord. Let's go. What is coming out? First, these aren't really new releases, but they're reissues. There's a death metal band called Aborted. I see 5 albums of theirs getting released on vinyl for the first time in a while. If you've never heard these guys, very technical, excellent players. And I think one of the more underrated death metal bands over the last 20 years, if you ask me. Aborted is pretty incredible. Also, if you love Cannibal Corpse, legendary death metalers Cannibal Corpse, it seems though almost all of their full lengths, from what I can tell, are getting released on this clear UK import. So if you don't have any Cannibal Corpse records, now might be a good time to jump on board. I've got them all, and they're all in various pressings, but I don't really care about that. But if you're one of those who wants everything look the same, these clear UK imports might be the Cannibal Corpse albums for you. I once remember watching a video on YouTube. It's the top 10 albums you could still get for less than $5. And just like it was talking about great values. And the number one album on that was Billy Cobham's Spectrum. I guess Billy Cobham was like a jazz drummer. And I did listen to the Spectrum album the day after he mentioned it on Spotify. And it's really good. So I don't know if I could justify spending like $30 some on a red pressing of an album that you could still find in bins, according to this video, for less than $5. But it is a really great kind of like jazzy experimental album. So if you haven't heard Billy Cobham's Spectrum, check it out. Maybe buy the record for $30 if you're feeling froggy. I don't know. This album has a girl on a horse on it, and it's called Castle Rat. The album's called Bestiary, and you're probably like, oh, this must sound like... Yes, that's what it sounds like, but it's really good. So if you didn't get to your Castle Rat's Bestiary yet, you got to check it out. It's pretty good if you like old school metal. It's got that old school vibe to it. Really good, though, and I'm going to pick this up for sure. Dimmu Borgir's For All Tid, their debut record, is being released on vinyl for the first time in a long time. I think something came out in like 92. It was before they kind of hit their stride and were featured on like a CKY video and things like that. But Dimmu Borgir, their sound changed immensely since this time, so this really is the roots of the band. But if you want to hear where it all began and you like Dimmu, then this is one you want to pick up. The Gorillaz have an album called The Mountain, which has recently been released. It's going to be coming out on vinyl. This is more of a serious take by this group here. They're trying to be a little more like the meaning of life and more in-depth topics than what they've been dealing with. And, I think that's a good idea to check some new things out for them. But I have a box set of a lot of their records. I might pick this up if I can find it for a decent price, because I like most of their stuff. The thing I'm most excited about is the shoegazy act Nothing, their album, A Short History of Decay. I believe this is their 5th, I could be wrong about that, their 5th full length that's not comprised of like demos and things like that. I think it's their 5th full length. I did pick up a green candy apple kind of color variant, 300 copies from Revolver of this record that I pre-ordered. But I really like this band. I've seen them live a few times. Their lineup is always changing, which is unfortunate, I think. But the band always stays pretty fresh, so maybe it's actually working in their favor. But check out this Short History of Decay album from Nothing. If you've never heard them, you're missing out. We've gotten almost all of the Opeth. I think the only thing we don't have right now is Damnation or Deliverance. One of the two. The one that's hard to find. We don't have that one. But this live at Royal Albert Hall, they were selling it for pre-order. It was 4 LPs for $99.99, and I didn't pull the trigger on it. It's just a pretty steep price for a live record, but I'm sure it's going to sound great. Opeth is an excellent band live. Every time I've seen them, at least, they have been. And so I'll probably end up picking this up. I just don't know if I want to spend 100 bones for it, but I'll probably bite the bullet eventually. The next band I'm going to tell you about is Geese. They have a live album coming out on Third Man. The reason I'm telling you about this is because Geese is that band, the hot band right now. And almost every hot band, I check out their stuff. I'm like, man, I can see. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not belittling their fans or anything like that. I've tried. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments why I should love this band. But they're just not doing anything for me. But if you are into them, and I know they're the it band right now, this Live at Third Man, I'm sure will be a pretty cool thing for a Geese fan. For a Goose's fan, Geese's a fan of that band. I'm just not. 8th studio album from shock rocker, kinda, Rob Zombie, The Great Satan. This is his 8th full length. I have that crazy box set that he put out years ago. The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid album came out in 2021. I was pretty disappointed with it, as I am with the last couple of releases. I mean, he has a couple of songs on each album that I'm like, yeah, but maybe this one will be more consistent. I'm not sure. I did see him at the festival here in Columbus last year, and it was he was Sonic Temple. He was in a pissy mood on stage, which was one of my favorite moments of the. He was like belittling his bandmates. He was having a bad day, but I'm going to pick up this album because I pick up everything from Rob, and I'm glad that he's still doing his thing, even though he's not really reinventing the wheel at this point in his career. Last but not least, Sophia Isela. The album is called "I Can Be Your Mother." It's a collection of some of her EPs that she's been putting together. I have 2 of her EPs. I'm expecting this musician to blow up at some point. She's just very dark and very controversial, kind of industrial influenced, but very mellow. Kind of has that, that mellow voice that a lot of the female singers have now. Where they're like, they're doing that, But she does it really well, and I think the music's extremely dark and cool. And she's not afraid to challenge. She's very young. She's like 20 or something. So she's not afraid to like challenge the preconceived notions of the music industry, and I'm always excited about that. So, and that's all I've got for you this week. Is there anything you're particularly excited about? Anything I missed? I know there's a lot of albums coming out. I picked like 11 or 12 here that I think are pretty cool. And feel free to tell me below if there's anything I missed or if there's anything I mentioned that you're excited about. Please like, subscribe, follow, and I will continue putting out more content here on the Red Chair Reviews. And that's all I got to say to you. So, until next time, rock on.